All right. Well, I appreciate you guys showing up for this webinar. Thanks for being here. This is Scoob from Dirt Soldiers MX. We got Joe DeGano from mxcoach.com. We're going to just give a few minutes here for people to get logged in. We still ain't even at the 7 o'clock mark yet, so we'll give it a couple more minutes. And this is the mxcoach.com Dirt Soldiers MX Durhamtown School webinar. Learn from professional motocross coaches. We're about to teach you guys some stuff on this webinar. Are you guys excited for that? Get your questions ready too towards the end of the webinar. Don't be throwing them out right away. Give it a little bit of time, but we will answer questions towards the end of this webinar. You cool with that, Joe? Want to answer some questions?
Yeah, well, I wonder if they could start posting their questions now, and then we can kind of get a vibe for, what they want to know.
We can do that. Absolutely. Listen, guys, you hear that? If you want to start posting some questions now, throw them up there. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, put them in the chat. We really want to deliver what you want to get out of this webinar. Do you have questions about training? Do you have questions about the school? Do you have questions about how to win a race? Whatever's going to be valuable to you, we want to address it and, give you a new perspective on it.
Absolutely. So, yeah, guys, start throwing your questions up there. Looks like we got Michelle on. He says, hi, Scoob and Joe. What's up, Michelle?
Right.
How you doing, buddy?
Hi, Michelle. Glad to I haven't met you in person yet, but Michelle lives on a island down in the is it the Caribbean?
Yeah, Corso,
yeah.
Caribbean island, yeah.
Yeah, way down there, and he's into motocross, so it's great to have you. He's also coming to Georgia. He's going to get on a plane and somehow figure out all he has to figure out to get off that island to come to Georgia. So
Michelle,
great to have you on here, Michelle.
Yeah. He's done it a couple times. I've actually trained Michelle myself. He's been in my school 3 times, and the guy always figures out a way from that old island. It's only 40 miles off of Venezuela. I've actually been down there myself. They have one motocross track, and it's a great place down there. Beautiful place. 5 mile wide, 40 mile long, and what a place, you know what I mean? And what a bunch of dedicated people down there that actually can't get a lot of parts. It's kind of bad because I said, I'm going to start a business flying. I'm going to fly one of them planes in with the you can land on the water and deliver you guys parts. They were like, please do it.
That's great.
Awesome. Well, we got more people signing up. Listen, guys, get your questions in. Put your questions in right now. Anything you want answered, throw it in there right now. You got 2 professional coaches on with you right now from Joe DeGano from mxcoach.com. You got me, Scoob, from Dirt Soldiers MX. So, dude, throw the questions up there. Cliff just said, been working on riding on the balls of my feet, being a fat body. Should I stick to the arches for jumps?
Great question, Cliff.
I will say this, Cliff. If you're going to case a jump, you do not want to case the jump on the balls of your feet, okay? You definitely want to case a jump on the arches of your feet, but you want to ride from the balls of your feet, okay? So I jumped ahead there, but
yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we got 6:59. We got 1 minute. You got Joe DeGano here from mxcoach.com. You got Scoob here from Dirt Soldiers MX, and we're doing the Durhamtown School webinar, Learn from Professional MX Coaches. Thanks for being on board. I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks so much, and we're going to rock and roll into this and give you guys great value today. All the value we can give you, for real. And we're leading up to tell you guys about a good program that Joe DeGano from MX Coach got going on, and that's down at Durhamtown. And I've been there myself down at Durhamtown, guys. And this place is one heck of a place. I call it the Disney World of motocross, for real. I've never seen a place like this in my life with like 14 motocross tracks. Everything there that you need, restaurants. I mean, a full facility. You blow your bike up there, you scatter. You know what I mean? You're back to riding, So it's just a very, very, very well-established, very nice place. So, and hey, I'm looking at some of the comments here. Sweating my ass off. Too hot outside. Can you see the comments now, Joe?
I can see him. Yeah.
Yeah. Really interested in the scientific approach.
Excellent.
Excellent. We got some questions coming in. All right. Well, we got 7:01, so let's get this ball rolling. You guys ready to rock and roll on this? Give me some hell yeses there in the comment if you guys are ready to go. So here we go. We're going to start, guys. Listen, I'm Scoob from Dirt Soldiers MX. We've got Joe DeGano from mxcoach.com. This is the Durhamtown School webinar, Learn from Professional MX Coaches. And what we're going to do here is just a quick introduction between me and Joe. I'll take the lead on that and just give you a little rundown of myself, and then I'll let Joe tell you about him, about his program and himself. Listen, for you guys that don't know me, I see some people on here that do know me, but there's some people that don't. I got a Peter on here who just said, hell yeah, Peter. But listen, I'm Scoob from Dirt Soldiers MX. I own a private training facility here in Loretto, Pennsylvania, where I teach beginners and intermediates and amateurs the fundamental techniques for control, confidence, and flow. That's the thing I love to teach you guys, and that's what I like to have you guys have breakthroughs in for people who come here to my school. I also have an online training academy, which is called the Motocross Training Academy, where I teach the same things just on an online program, okay? And I've been doing this for 17 years now. I've been riding for 35 years of my life, worked my way up to the pro class, and then just had a knack for teaching and love it, okay? And that's what I started doing, and that's what I've been doing for the last 17 years, to teach you guys the fundamental techniques to have breakthroughs in your results and find your control, confidence, flow on a motocross track. So that's what I'm here to help you guys with today, and I'll let Joe take over here.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Scoob, for having me on the web. My name's Joe DeGano. I'm the owner of MX Coach. I've been doing professional motocross coaching for 16 years and used to be an AMA pro back in 1988. Nobody special, but I did make it to that level. I did race some nationals and won Supercross at Daytona, and woke up to that I do not know what I was doing. But regardless, I've spent my whole life since I was 15 in the quest of being a motocross champion. And I had an amazing career in the motorcycle industry, working for Bel-Ray, Yamaha Motor Corporation, Recluse Motorsports, O'Neill USA, etc. And I've I've also brought what works in athletic coaching to business coaching. So I also have a business consulting company in which we do the same methodologies, the same techniques to get performance, whether that's in business or in athletics. It's all the same. You're all dealing with a person and actions. So what am I saying? I've been trained by the best. And if you go on my website, you can find out more about that. I've been doing it professionally. And that's the thing that, Scoob and I want to make a point that we're not just a couple of guys I'm from Idaho, okay, and Scoob from Pennsylvania that decided like, hey, let's put a school together. No, we've been investing in motocross coaching professionally for Scoob for 17 years, me for 16 years. And really that's what we do for a living. And figuring out, what works, what has clients, our students really get the breakthrough results, what makes a difference.
Absolutely. Without a doubt, Joe, it's so true. And combined, so we have a lot of years. We have a lot of years between us there doing this thing. And you learn a lot. You learn a lot as you go. You learn how to become a better coach and to get these breakthroughs for students,
Yeah, and I started this and I thought, man, I really always wanted to be a motocross coach. And I thought once I got my AMA #1 plate, then I could do it, right? Yeah. And I didn't even get close to having the AMA #1 plate. But something happened and I thought, you know what, I could do it anyway. And so I got trained by a professional coach and really learned the ins and outs of it. And that's another thing that we've created. If you go to my other website, be a MX coach, be a motocross coach. We have a certification program that helps other coaches learn the fundamentals at whatever level to have their own professional coaching business.
Mm-hmm.
It's another thing we're doing. And again, we're able to do that simply because we've got what works to have a coaching business, and what works to have students get results, right? There's a whole thing out there. Oh yeah, I went to this school and, he really encouraged me. He told me I had talent. I could make it. Yeah, that's a bunch of nonsense in my point of view. I want to leave you with, you will never get over the experience you had with me. That when you're winning the championship at Anaheim, they go, man, what happened? You go, oh yeah, that school I did back in Georgia with Scoob and Joe. That's what made the difference. Mm-hmm. That's where I really started to see what is the source of performance, what really has performance, what has me be able to achieve goals or be someone beyond who I thought I could be. That's where I discovered that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. Without a doubt, and it carries through their career, through wherever they go in their motocross racing career, dreams, goals, aspirations. It sticks with him, and I'm right with you on that. I want to affect you throughout your whole career. If you only do it for another week and you quit for that week, you were like, dude, I was the best damn rider for that week because of the stuff Scoob taught me. So let's get into that a little bit, Joe. Let's talk about some techniques that me and you teach, and how we're going to come together here at Durhamtown. And these people and people on the webinar here, and the people that sign up for the school down there are going to be able to learn from both of us.
Yeah. So first off, and I don't know, many of you may have had an instructor, somebody teach you about how to ride. Maybe it was Uncle Jimmy. Maybe actually a local guy at your track taught you. Maybe you went to a motocross school. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to get clear right off the bat. This ain't what you've been to. This is not different. I've been to all sorts of motocross schools over the years, and what we do is very distinct. There's not a motocross school, and you're thinking, oh yeah, I've been to that school. No, nothing wrong with that school. I don't want to discredit any coaches. I've got all the great regard and highest respect to anyone that's a motocross coach, because fundamentally they want to make a difference with people. They want to share what their experience to have other people achieve things. But this is different, okay? This is different. One, you're going to get a questionnaire about what do you really want to get out of the course? What do you really want to get out of the motocross school? And I know what you're going to say. Oh, I want to ride with the balls of my feet on the pegs. Somebody was putting that in the chat here earlier.
Yeah,
is that? Yeah, I want to know how to do that. I want to be better at ruts. I want to get better starts. I want to improve. And you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say that's not really why you're here. See, I've got to get why you really are at a motocross school and what you really want to get. And that's a big part of the school right there. And we're going to just keep drilling in, or drilling up, as I like to say, until you're clear on what you really want to do. So,
and I was going to say real quick, and that's what I love about me and you coming together, Joe, and it is your aspect of the mental game and being really clear in what you really want to do, okay? And that's you have that honed in. Awesome. I love that. And I'm more the guy that drills in these techniques. So going back to the balls of the feet, going back to head over the handlebar mounts, going back to these fundamental techniques, okay? I make sure that they are drilled into you and they work. You do not abandon them, and that's what I kind of love about what this school is going to be, because it's a good combination of what you do and what I do. And I know you do that too. I'm not saying you don't, but I've always noticed me and you been around for a long time now, talking to each other and doing podcasts that we've done. And just like your logo says, head first in motocross, right? And
that's it, right?
Yeah.
And that's it, right? We do. Everything starts with, we'll just say the mental side, right? Mm-hmm. I don't really like to use that term, but that's a term everybody's familiar with.
Yeah.
How it shows up for me. Look, if you're going to be an amateur trying to get better, there's nothing I can do with you. I cannot coach an amateur trying to get better. I just can't do it. There's no access to anything more than you getting better. And to tell you the truth, I'm not interested in flying out to Georgia, living in some lodge, dealing with a bunch of noise, dust, heat, and mud for you to get better. I'm just not interested. Now, if you're going to be really straight and say what you want to do in your motorcycle, what kind of accomplishments you want to have in motocross, or where you want to be great in the sport of motocross, now I'm going to get up early in the morning. Now we're really talking about something that's going to make a difference in your life and change how you look at racing, how you look at yourself, and how you look at the world.
Yeah.
And what you can see, like, wow, maybe this great dream I have, this great vision I have, maybe it's actually possible. Because Scoob and I are going to debunk all the myths. See, there's no such thing as talent. You're going to say talent. Hey, is my son talented? You know what I say? I go, no, he's not talented. Nobody's talented. See, in my opinion, talent is someone that's worked for years and hours and hours and hours and hours to master something, and then they're masters out on the field. Do you know what they say in the stands? He's got talent. No, he doesn't have talent. That person spent hours and hours and hours on their craft to have a level of competency and then have a level of mastery that we now quickly dismiss as that's talent.
Yep.
And so everyone's asking me, is my kid have talent? Oh, you're going to get that. You don't need talent. Okay, yes. Great. If talent's not an option, then what will make me realize, what will have me realize what I really want to realize on a motocross track or on a motorcycle?
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And it does. And you just harked right on it. It takes, and I can just give you an example of myself. I was no natural, right, at this. If I went out and my old man would have said, does he have talent? No, he don't have talent. But I put the time in to perfect the craft, you know what I mean? And my theory's always been, and I've told many of my students, we all put our boots on the same way. We all swing our leg over that bike the same way. There's no difference, you know what I mean? It's just, and what I love about your mental part is because it does start with mental. And the difference is figuring that out mentally and then putting in the work to develop the skills through practice, okay, to get them techniques down.
Let me interrupt you right there, Scoob, because we all know, right? Look, I'm going to start training on Monday, right? And I got this great program off a virtual trainer on RacerX, and man, I'm going to go for it. But we all know that it takes more than your commitment. I'm going to train. You run into, okay, maybe 2 weeks you're able to do it. On the third week, start going out. The fourth week, you're not doing it the way you know it's to be done. You're cutting corners. Before you know it, you're just so frustrated that you failed again. You give up, right? And then wait, next month I'll try again. So, this is where the mental part, the so-called mental part, really impacts. There's a whole list of things that you and I know what we should do, and we're not doing them.
Yeah.
I should train more. I should eat better. I should practice the drills. I should do blah, blah, blah. I should get a good night's sleep before I go to the race. All these things that you know to do, but you're not doing. I do not want to give you more on your list of what you know to do, but are not doing.
So what do you give them, Joe?
Well, I mean, that's what the school's about, right? And it really starts with, what do you really want to do on a motorcycle? Because I bet you want to do something great on a motorcycle. And whatever that great is to you, I'm not saying everyone wants to be an AMA pro like you and I wanted to, Scoob, but you want to do something great on a motorcycle.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Then bring that to the school. And that's what you're going to be dealing with Scoob and I, is to really give something that's worth having you go past your normal comfort zone. Because if you just want to get better, I know what's going to happen. You're going to get mad at me. You're going to get your feelers hurt. We're going to be dealing in a very small little world. I don't want to deal in a small world. I want to deal in the biggest world you are willing to go for.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
All right, so let's talk about technique, right? Enough of this mental stuff.
I was just going to say, let's go to technique now.
Let's make it real solid, Scoob. You start off.
Hold on, I love this comment. Oh, I like this guy. We got a comment. Oh, I like this guy. So, listen, guys, real quick before we jump into the techniques, get your questions in. Listen, we're going to answer some questions here. So, whatever question you have, whether it be mental, on the physical, on the techniques, get them in. Get them into the comment box over here, and we will scroll down through these and tackle these questions for you guys. But let's jump on the technique.
Scoob, we got some good ones in here. Keep them coming. Go ahead, Scoob.
Okay. Techniques. Let's jump on to the techniques, Joe. Yeah, the techniques. So, I mean, the techniques, and my thing you heard me say in the beginning is the control, confidence, and flow, right? That's what you're looking to gain on a motocross track, the momentum, and do that as smooth with the control, the confidence, flow as possible. And that takes technique, right? There's these fundamental techniques in motocross, and one of the most frustrating parts to me, and not to go off too much here, but and me and Joe have talked about this before actually, is where this is the only sport where you have this mentality of the technique that most people know, and they'll tell you, just twist the throttle and go. That's what you got to do, man. You'll figure it out. Well, let me tell you, you might figure it out, but you might figure it out after some broken legs. You might figure it out after so a lot of lost races, and a lot of stuff of this nature, and going down this road. And you can get down a much better road, a much quicker road in the aspect of kicking some ass on a motocross bike if you just take the time to learn the fundamental techniques. Listen, guys, I get it. In this sport, our mentality is get on this bike. We're on this bike with a motor that goes fast. That's what we want to do. We want to try to go fast. But it's the techniques are what get you there, and it's being smooth. Okay, lap times don't lie. I'm not telling you a lot about techniques. I'm going off on a little tangent here, and I hope it helps you guys. But I've taken many lap times on many guys, and lap times, like I said, don't lie. And it's the smooth guy that's doing the technique right he'll always come off and say, I don't think I was doing this fast, compared to where he came through a corner like just technique all out, just on that twist the throttle and go mentality. And he was like, that one felt faster, guaranteed. I'm like, dude, no, the one that you actually were on the balls of your feet, had your elbows up, had your head over the handlebar mounts, were loose, were flowy, steering with the balls of your feet, your knees and your hips. That was your best lap time. Okay, so the techniques are so important. They're very important. It's the thing I harp on. So I just went off. Joe, go ahead.
No, it's great, Scoob. Great. I love somebody that harps on the fundamentals, just like any good football coach does. So let me again debunk the myth. So here's the thing. There are techniques, okay, and there's 8 of them in motocross. So if you were going to go in martial arts, they would tell you, look, here's the fundamentals you need to master. The kick, the punch, the block, the get out of the way. Okay, look, I'm not a martial expert. There's probably more to that, but you can get that, right? Yeah, that's what I got to master to master martial arts, right? There's other things, but that's the basics, okay? In motocross, when I ask people what are the fundamentals, even when I ask AMA pros, and I've coached about 5 AMA pros in my career, and I always love to ask them going through the pits good questions. And one of the questions I ask them is, what's the fundamentals? They don't know. They look at me like, keep your head over the bars and your elbows up. Yeah, I got that. Nobody really even knows the fundamentals, okay? But if I were a swim coach, okay, and I had a swim team, and you're going to come to on my team, and I'd say, oh, great, welcome, Scoob. We are now doing the freestyle stroke, the front crawl, and we have studied Michael Phelps, the Olympian that won 24 gold medals, the greatest Olympian of all times, the fastest man in water, that Michael Phelps. Mm-hmm. We've studied his front crawl stroke, and yeah, we're going to be doing drills so that you can learn that. And you go, no, coach, look, I'm good. I'm fast. I've won races before. I've been swimming for, 10 years. Phelps style, that's great, but I have my own style. See, that's the first myth we've got to deal with. There is not your style. See, in motocross, we think it's a style. No, it's not a style. It's what works. So if I will provide you, Scoob and I will provide you irrefutable evidence, unquestionable evidence that these techniques are what the top 5 heroes in motocross are doing today. Not the top 6, not the top 10, not the local fast guy at your local track. No, the top 5 guys: Tomac, Ken Roxkin, Cooper Webb.
Yep, Cooper Webb.
Help me out, Scoob. Newskin, right? And Dungey, okay, and the like. Those top level guys, okay, they're all using these 8 fundamentals, and I can prove it to you. And they're all doing it. They're all doing them, period. Now, as I go further back in the pack, they're not doing all of them. But man, those top 5 guys are doing all of them, and they do them all the time. That's how they control their bike. That's how they're able to corner and accomplish the things they do on a motorcycle. So forget about your style, and we're going to deal with what works. These are fundamental laws of physics.
Yep.
You cannot go fast on a motorcycle unless, if I take a picture of you and I take a picture of Dungey, and if that doesn't look the same, you're not in the laws of physics. You're doing your own thing, and your own thing might work, but it will never be able to turn a corner like Dungey does, because Dungey is using all 8 fundamentals to control the motorcycle.
Absolutely. And, you know, and you said a style there, and listen, here's what most people try to do. Their first thought is to go to that style first, but the style will come. You'll get your style, but you got to master these fundamentals first, and then the style will come. I mean, you can definitely see a difference between Dungey, a Cooper Webb. There's differences in their little body position, their little movements and everything. But if you study the fundamentals, they're all correct. You know, they're all using them top guys. The style comes.
Yeah, that's a great point, Scoob. Right? You will find your own style, your own self-expression. Like, you know, Carmichael, his style was aggression. And Jeremy McGrath, his style was precision, right? And, you know, Stanton was somewhere in the middle, and, you know, on and on and on. But what we're going to teach you is the fundamental laws of physics. And, man, I'm telling you, this stuff works. It works. And so the motocross school isn't going to be like you think. Nope, it's not. Sorry, it's not going to be like you think. We're not going to go out on MX1 track at Durhamtown, this sweet track. You're going to be going, man, when do we get to ride the track? No, it's going to be like football practice. It's going to be like soccer practice. It's going to be like baseball practice. We're going to break down the fundamentals, and you're going to say, I already know how to ride. And I'm going to say, no, you don't, because I watched you ride, and I can see from, 50 yards away that, man, you are not in sync with the laws of physics.
Absolutely. And I'm the same way on that aspect, Joe, too. And that's where we start. Where I start every lesson I ever start. I don't care if you're an A rider. If you're an A rider, you're going to start with drills and learn and getting the drills correct. I mean, that's just what's going to happen. It's not about going out on the track and just burning fast laps. You know what I mean?
Now, just to be clear, you all think drills like we're going to do some corner work. We're going to work a corner. And we will do that in the school, but that's not what we mean by drills, guys. We mean like we are going to break it down like a football coach does to each move. And I promise you, we do that in the first day, okay, right out of the gate. I promise you, you will go, oh my goodness, I had no idea. And then we will show you the top pros, and you will go, I never noticed. I looked at pictures of Dungey my whole life. I never noticed that he's using all eight of these fundamentals. And I just learned them not to go fast. I just learned them. That's how I control my motorcycle. If you can have mastery and control of your motorcycle, you could do anything with it, including go fast.
Yep.
Matter of fact, when you have control, your brain allows you to twist the throttle.
Absolutely.
See, you
I always say,
think you got choice to twist the throttle. That's another thing we'll deal with. You ain't got no choice to twist the throttle. Your brain allows you to twist the throttle when it doesn't feel like it's going to die.
I like it. I like that. I like that. Very true. I always say it's got to come right from that brain, right down that right arm, and right into that throttle. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you feel confident and in control, you know. And if you don't feel that, you're not going to do it. It's as simple as that, you know. And that's what's going to happen. Yeah. So this school
that's the first part of the course, right? We're going to, one, get what you're really up to, committed to, what you really want in racing. So we got, you know, so it's fun at the very least.
Yeah.
There's nothing more worse than being with a bunch of riders that want to get better. It's painful. So we're going to get to what you really want to get, and whatever that is perfect, but it's something that inspires you and that will call you forth bigger than you currently are. And then we're going to go into the to the techniques. We're going to show you how it works. We're going to show you how you get control of their bike. We've got great drills to do it. Yep, we're going to be going through cones. I know it, but that's okay. You'll see at the end, okay? And then we're going to show you how to practice. Just like your football coach doesn't let you go play scrimmage games all day, we're going to break up that other myth, unload my bike from the truck and burn laps, and have Uncle Jimmy standing in the corner going, faster! We're not going to be doing that anymore. We're going to show you how to really train like a professional athlete in any sport except motocross. Okay?
Yeah.
We do it a little weird here in motocross.
Yeah,
but we're going to train like other professional sports, so you have now access to incredible competency and on your way to mastery. Master the fundamentals, you've mastered the game. Master the game, you're winning.
Mm-hmm.
And it will, you know, it will really alter. Look, when I do private lessons, they're 3-hour lessons. Within the first hour, mom or dad, or if I'm coaching dad, they're like, holy cow. By the end of the third hour, I'm talking hours, they're like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Mm-hmm. He looks like, you know, Ryan Dungey. He looks so confident. He's going through sand. Wow, it's a transformation.
Yep.
And it's all through the fundamentals.
All through. And just to relate this real quick, Joe, it just popped in my mind. I literally had a lesson right before we jumped on this webinar, right, from 3 to 5 o'clock. Same thing, a 2-hour lesson. And the dad shows up, just to relate a quick story here, and he kind of had that mentality. How much talent does he have? Well, I don't know yet, because we got to start to train here, and I'm going to show him how he can get that talent, right? And the kid, just to touch on these techniques, he in the first hour, like you just said, I'm like, okay, listen, dude. You know, it was drills, and he you know, a younger kid on 65. Sometimes he was a little bit like, I just want their mentality is just get on this track and go. You know what I mean? I'm saying, buddy, hold on. This is gonna see right now how this works, okay? And showed it to him out on the track. He goes, and within them 2 hours, just like you said, his dad was like, oh my God, and even him pulling off the track was like, wow. I'm going to start beating my friends. You know, that was his mentality being a younger kid. Next week, I just want to beat my friends. I want to beat the race. But I said, listen, dude, okay, that's fine. But you got to keep practicing from here on out. If you show up to track tomorrow, okay, and I've seen this happen a couple times, you show up to track tomorrow and you do not, you go back to your old bad habits just because you're with your friends and you're at a certain speed at that level. You will make mistakes and you're going to crash a lot more. You got to slow down, let them guys go, give it a couple, and it won't take that long, not as long as you think, but if you keep practicing it, it's going to come to you like that in the flick of a finger, so to speak. And
you got to put the time in. You got to put the time in. And that's absolutely the time in mastering the technique. See, you want to put the time in burning laps on the track. And look, it's fun. I love riding laps on the track, okay?
Absolutely.
You want to put the time on the burning laps on the track and doing, clickers over the jumps. No, we're going to show you, like every other professional sport, you're going to put the time in like a football player, like a soccer player, like a basketball player, like a swimmer, like a cyclist. And that's going to give you unbelievable results and unbelievable mastery over your bike. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for incredible control.
Yep.
So, and it's going to be fun. So if you go to my Facebook page, be a motocross coach, right? At be a MX coach, right? On Facebook. There's a video there. Just did a school in Montana. Awesome track, awesome people. And there is a picture of one of the drills. Okay.
Yeah.
And as I tell my guys, that drill is the most fun I've ever had on a motorcycle. And I've ridden motorcycles all over the world. Okay. Mm-hmm. All over the world. That was the most fun. You look at that drill. We did that drill back in 2009 out here in Idaho, and with 6 guys, 6 of the guys I was training. Holy cow, it was the best time of our lives. So anyway, it's going to be fun too. Don't think we're going to be going through cones, okay? You are going to be going through cones, but you're going to be discovering things, and light bulbs are going to be going on, and we're going to cement those insights you get with, here's the practice. Here's what you have to master. Mm-hmm. Okay? Absolutely.
I completely agree, Joe, and it will be fun. I like what you say there. It's going to be fun. It's always about the fun. You got to – one of the big thing is we swing a leg over a bike, we get on these dirt bikes and we ride moto because it's fun. It really is. When it boils down to it, it's fun, right? You can't lose that. And, I can remember my racing career for a minute losing that. I trained really hard one year and was out and just let the stress get to me. And I realized that I was actually doing pretty good, but I was just stressed out, and I didn't let it become fun no more, right? And when I switched halfway through the year and I said, you know what, Scoob, self-talk to myself, right? Knock this shit off and just have fun. Yeah, well, the rest of the year was a completely different ball game. So it is. So we're going to have fun at this school because we both agree on that.
We're going to have so much fun.
And have fun. But
and again, the purpose of the school is to not teach you stuff. Nope, that's not the purpose. And I know you want to learn stuff. Nope, sorry, that would be a failure for Scoob and I. The purpose of the school is to have you get access to what you really want in motocross. And if it's to have fun or if it's to accomplish something, that's what it is. So it's all coming from that. What do you want to get here? I don't want to give you information. No, I want to alter how you see yourself, how you see racing, and how you see the world. If I do that, then you'll never get over these 2 days in Georgia. And you'll be on a trajectory to accomplish whatever you want in motocross, even if it is to be an AMA pro.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And that's my promise, and that's Scoob and I stand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree 100%. It's my promise too. Listen, guys, get your questions in over there in the comment box. We've seen a bunch of good questions coming in. Listen, you guys having fun? Are you guys enjoying this webinar? Put some hell yes in there in the comment box. And keep the question. Any question you got on the techniques, on the mental part, the physical part, throw them in there, because me and Joe are going to tackle them, and we'd be more than happy to answer these questions. I've seen a bunch coming in.
So Scoob, let's answer a couple of these here. So
let's do that.
Let's go here. Here, you pick a good one.
Let me look here.
So here, let me get Michael's right here at the top. About
go ahead.
His kids, right? He wants to learn skills so he can share them with his kids. Look, this is the perfect thing. Whether you're going to do the school or your kids are going to do the school or you're going to do it with your kids, whoever you're doing it with, that's what you want to do. If you can have somebody that you ride with, even if it's mom or dad, so you all get trained, even if you're only watching, you all get trained in these distinctions together and these practice methods so that you can support each other. If you're on bikes, man, all do it, and then you hold each other accountable. You start doing the drills and see what works. That really is powerful.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, Joe. And just to back that up, I couldn't agree more with you. I get people to come to the school, to my school here at Durhamtown Mx, and I tell the parents, I say, stay right here, stay right with me, because you're the person that's going to take this kid when he leaves here. If you're coming back, if I got a couple week lesson or whatever, but you're going to be spending the most time with him. So yeah, listen to me speak and listen to me teach, and pick the techniques up, and you can take them skills along and help your son also at the track. So yes, absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. We want you there. All right, here's a great question from Michelle. I love this one, okay? So I should go and join a gym, but if I start training, first thing I do is eating more, have a physical demanding job. So sometimes just tired if I come home and feel sorry for myself and just chill out instead of training. Do it anyway, right? So look, this is what we're all dealing with, okay? And so thank you, Michelle, for being so authentic, and I can't wait to work with you. Him and I have talked on email for quite a bit here, Scoob. I'm getting to know him already. So this is the kind of stuff that really makes a difference when you start to tell the truth. See, the truth is that I want to train, but at the end of the day, I'm tired and I don't feel like it, or I want to do something else, or everybody's going to the movies, or, I'm just going to play motocross, ATV versus motocross action, whatever. Right?
Yeah, MX versus ATV.
Thank you, MX versus ATV. So we are going to address that in the course. And so here's the quick bit of it. Okay, how am I going to say this so that you could get it? That is at the source of what you're going to learn right there. That's what's missing. Look, I want to do it. I'm committed to do it. See, you think because you're committed to it that has you act. No, it doesn't. Just look in your life. Have you been committed to something? What we call is the scientific method, where you falsify. See, we all live in a bunch of beliefs, and most of those beliefs are fallacies. They're myths. They're not based on factual. So if I say, well, look, if people would be committed like Dungy is, then they would win and train and do the things that Dungy does. And I say, no, that's not it. Because if I look in my life, when I was committed to something, sometimes I acted, but sometimes I didn't. So that's not a law. See, a law is like a law of gravity. Every time I drop my pen, no matter how I feel, no matter what mental state I'm in, no matter what zip code I'm in, no matter what condition my bike is in or how muddy the track is, that pen drops and hits the ground every time. So I want to deal in a more scientific approach based on reality than my myth of called I'm committed has me act. So what Michelle's bringing up is really potent, right? If I could really get like, wow, you're right. Well, look, I've been committed to things in my life and I haven't acted on them. I've been inspired by things in my life and I haven't acted on them. Now, sometimes I have and sometimes I haven't, but I'm looking for something that's always like the law of gravity.
Yeah.
Right. And so we're always trying to look for the answer. What's the answer? What's the secret? People call me all the time because, I do all four things, right? I do the mental part. I do technique. I do athletic training and sports nutrition. So people call me up, hey, do you have a championship program I really want to train? And I never sell it to them. I go, yeah, I do have a championship program, a periodization program of 52 weeks that will, I've worked with AMA pros on, and it flat out gets them in elite level conditioning. The problem is you are not going to bring the elite athlete to the program. You're going to bring your old self. And I know what your old self is going to do. It's going to come home from work or from school or after a fight with your girlfriend, and you're not going to feel like training.
Yep.
So I can charge you $1,500 for my program, but you're not going to do it. And so then it will be a failure for you and me. So I always sell coaching with the program so we can deal with just what Michelle's saying. I come home from work and then I'm tired and I don't do it. Yeah, that's what coaching, that's the world of coaching right there. Anything to add, Scoob?
Absolutely. That's the world of coaching. So and I love what you said there. You always sell the coaching with it because you have to have them mental breakthroughs on that to get them through that, to show up at a level right now with the belief. I guess it's the word belief that they can do it. Aware in the moment right now, not this, making excuses and
yeah, well, we'll dive into that in the school. We don't have the time.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Means to do that, but yeah, we will deal with that.
Absolutely.
So let's see what else we got.
Yeah,
what skills will we be teaching? All right, Greg, I think we answered that one. We got 8 fundamental skills. that we will show you that there's nothing that Scoob made up. There's nothing that Joe DeGano made up. These are what the top guys are using. We'll be teaching you those fundamentals on how they control the bike, and we'll prove it to you and you'll go, oh, that's right. That's what Tomac is doing, and I never realized it. And we'll teach you it in a way that goes beyond knowing it, goes beyond understanding it. We'll be working with you that you go, I totally get it. I totally get it. Yep. That's how those guys do what they do. Now I know what I need to master and practice.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Guys, keep getting your questions in. If you got any more questions, throw them in here.
Oh, here's Cliff. Been working on riding on the balls of my feet. Okay. Should I stick to arches for jumps? So great, Cliff. He's seen enough riders. Maybe he was on virtual trainer. Yeah, ride on the balls of your feet like every other athletic. Everyone's on the balls of their feet. Tell me the athletic that's not, and you know, it will be bingo. That's not an athletic. Okay. So yeah, you want to ride on the balls of your feet on your bike. The first rule is there are no rules, right? So you got to give up the rules. But riding on the balls of your feet gives you control on the bike far beyond what you know. And we're going to show you that. What should I do on the arches? Well, look on the jumps of, you know, the top guys, and you'll find that they're on the balls of their feet as well. So there's something there that you don't know. If you're going to hit hard or land, there's something else that's missing. Otherwise, you're going to hyperflex your ankle, right? So we're going to show you the rest of the equation so that you can run on the balls of your feet all the time.
Yeah. And that, just to back a little bit up there with you, Joe, just to answer a little bit more, you're absolutely right. And that balls of the feet that's the first contact point on the bike, right? When you jump on that bike, your feet is the first contact point. And just like Joe said, no one does anything. If I stood up right now and was to jump up in the air, I jump up from the balls of my feet. If I'm going to go for a run, I run from the balls of my feet. Just like a boxer, you know, you were saying earlier, Joe, you punch, you stick, you move, whatever. I don't know boxing, whatever the technique is of that, but they do that light on their feet from the balls of their feet. Okay. And dude, it's no different motocross. It's your first contact point in the bike, and how you steer that bike is lean angles. And it starts from the balls of them feet by pressing down into the pegs left and right, the knee joints and the hip joints. And that's how you steer them. Bikes aren't so much steered from a turn of actually the wheel. It's from these lean angles, you know, through these ruts and in the corner. So that helps.
Scoob can say it like that because he has discovered that by doing it. Yeah, he's messed around with that long enough that he has, oh yeah, that's how I control my bike. Now, in the school, that's what you'll get access to, not just knowing it. See, you all read virtual trainer. You've all done it. I know you have. You looked at this and that, and you know what to do. But if I take a picture or send a video of you riding, you're not doing it. Now, maybe there's an exception, but I assure you I'll find something that's missing that if we put in place will make a big difference in your riding. And that's what the school is going to be about. Yeah. So, Scoob, we've been going on. It's like a court. We got like 15 more minutes.
Yeah.
So, here's any more questions. What do we need to cover here?
Yeah. So listen, we can let's jump in and give them the details of the school. Listen, if you guys got some questions, pop them in there. We're here right now. You got us on here. You know, 2 professional motocross coaches, and we're answering them questions, as you can see. So if you got them, pop them in there, guys. If not, well, then you're lost.
Okay, well, let me give the details. So
go ahead.
It's going to be October 14th and 15th, Saturday and Sunday, Durhamtown Off-Road Resort in Union Point, Georgia, southeast of Atlanta. Okay, and you can find all this info on my website, mxcoach.com. October 14th and 15th, Durhamtown. We're limiting this school to 15 riders. Okay, so we've already got I think four registered already. So, you know, first come, first serve here. Scoob and I, you're going to get 2 professional coaches with a small body of 15 people in the course. So you're going to get lots of one-on-one, lots of experience from Scoob, lots of experience from me. It's the first time Scoob are going to be working together. So he's going to be sharing with me his best practices. I'm going to be sharing with him my best practices. You're going to get like two hurricanes coming from an angle, and you're going to be stuck in the middle, and you're going to get more value than you ever could think of.
Absolutely. East meets west. I always think me and you, east meets west. And I know one thing, and we just from me and you being around together, Joe, and we said it this whole way through this thing. And my mentality in this and yours, I promise you this, guys, you ain't leaving this school without having major breakthroughs. That's a guarantee. Okay. So if you look over there in the chat box, if you want to sign up for the school and join me and Joe and at the school at Durhamtown, October 14th, 15th, you can hit that button right there, and it's going to take you right to the page, and you can sign up. It'll give you the information on Joe's page with his contact, his email, and his phone number, so you can sign up. You can give him a call or just send him an email and get into school, man. Something you don't want to definitely
Yep.
don't want to miss.
Durhamtown's going to be awesome. We got the whole track to ourselves, only 15 of us.
Yep.
Again, like we said, there's lodges there. We're going to be staying overnight. So, we're just going to go. You can rent a bike there from Durhamtown. It's a full service facility. We got the whole track to ourselves, private track, professional track. It's going to be great. So we want to really give you everything we got. And so we invite you to come and discover it for yourself, right? And the action you got to take is, it's the same thing what Michelle was talking about. Okay, I want to, but I don't feel like it. I've got some consideration. Oh, it's too far of a drive. Oh, I don't have the money. Oh, I got to race that weekend. So, the next action is to register. And you're going to have to deal with whatever you got to deal with to get yourself registered. See, otherwise, it's just another great idea that went right under the bridge. Okay?
Yep.
If you really are serious about having a breakthrough in your racing, this is it. I promise you this is it. Matter of fact, if it's not a breakthrough in your racing, I'll give you your money back. Okay? I have no problem doing that, because if you take the coaching, you will have a breakthrough. So I know you got this and that, and you've read this, and blah, blah, blah. But look, if you want to have a breakthrough in your coaching, have this 2 days be the difference that makes in your racing, then you've got to take the next action. Okay, you got some questions? Well, email me. Email Scoob. You got some money considerations? Okay, email me. You got some travel considerations? Okay, email me. Take the next action to get whatever you need resolved so you can be in this program.
Absolutely. If you have questions right now as we're talking here, throw them up right now. If you have some questions about the program, we'll answer them questions right now about the 2-day school at Durhamtown. Anything, throw them up. I see we got some more questions in for some technique questions and stuff.
Look, jumps. Greg's talking about jumps. Yes, we will absolutely cover jumps. It's my favorite thing. Because I got it written, there's a physics of jumping, and it has nothing to do with scrubs, okay? That's a whole nother thing. Every time I go to an amateur track, I'm just heartbroken by the number of people that are crashing over jumps and getting hauled away in the ambulance unnecessarily. Why? Because there are certain fundamentals in jumping. And I don't mean all this big air stuff. I mean a simple fundamental that I don't care how good you are in a jump. We're going to get a little hill, and we're going to get you have 2 feet off the ground. And until you've got the fundamentals of jumping dialed on your takeoff, in your air, on your landing, and continuing, until you got that dialed, nobody's going to go on a jump. Okay, and we're going to do that, and you're going to be like, oh my goodness, I never realized that. That's right. Now that I think about it, that's what Bubba does. Oh yeah. That's what Eli Tomac does. So, and we just start right there. Again, it's fundamentals, guys. And once you have the jumping fundamental, now I'm no longer worried about you going over a jump and getting a little sideways or coming up short, because now I know you've got enough competency in how to survive such an incident.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Well spoken there, Joe. Couldn't agree more. And I back you 100% on that. It's getting them fundamentals down to that jumping first, and if you don't do that, I mean, it always drives me nuts. The guys that come and say, I want to learn to jump. That's all I want to learn. Well, I don't want to teach you, number one. because that's not what we're going to learn in my school. And then I always say, let me see you get through that corner first, just real quick. And then they come through that corner like, I'm like, okay, listen, you got to learn to go through that corner first, if you want to learn to jump. So,
yep. And Michael's got a great question here about, his toes sticking out, pigeon-toed. That's fine, right? We'll deal with that on the school, and it's easier than you think. It's easier than you think. And we'll show you that right off the bat. All these little things, well, I'm sorry. It's not little to you, okay? But from Scoob and I's point of view, it's like, yeah, those are little things. We get that handled right away. Right away, we get those handled, and you go, oh, okay, I got it. And you're never going to have to deal with that again in the school or in your riding. We just handle it. Okay, and we'll show you how that is.
Absolutely. Well, that looks like no more questions. Any questions you guys got about the school at all? Anything as far as down at Durhamtown? You guys can throw in there real quick. I know I already said that, but just to throw it back out there. And so, yeah, October 14th and 15th is when this is going down. East meets West. MXcoach.com meets Dirt Soldiers MX. Looking so forward to it, and definitely gonna, this is gonna be like no school you guys ever attended, and if you never attended a school, it's the only school you'll ever want to attend again. I promise you that, because you're gonna come out of there with breakthroughs, and there's no doubt about that. So it was what, $425? Joe was
425. Only 425, right? There's like $25 a day to get into the facility. So, under $500, you're going to have, an amazing experience. So, look, we can go on and on. If you have any considerations or questions, please reach out to me or Scoob. You can catch me on mxcoach.com and just shoot me an email, give me a call. I'm glad to talk to you. And any questions or concerns you have about the school, let us know. We'd love to see you, love the opportunity to work with you. And whatever you're out to achieving in motocross, look, we'll stand there with you in having that happen.
Yep, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. So yeah, you guys can reach me at mxscoob.com. That's my mxscoob@gmail.com and Dirt Soldiers MX. And we'll get you all the information you need to get you signed up for that school. So just hit me up there, hit Joe at mxcoach.com, and jump on board, guys.
All right, Scoob, I look forward to working with you in Georgia.
Absolutely, man. I cannot wait. It's going to be a great 2 days down in Georgia, and we're going to really help people have breakthroughs and have fun and have a heck of a good school. Absolutely.
Right on.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's it, guys. Thanks everyone for showing up.
Yep.
And hit us up on mxscoob@gmail.com or mxcoach.com and get yourself signed up. See you guys later.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks.
See you guys later. Have a good one. Yep.